Hey guys, it's Simon Lovell here, and we are back and on to day 2 out of 10. I did say in the previous video it was like 7 days, but it is actually 10 days of making 10K per month in your fitness business. Now, if you haven't already gone through video 1, then make sure you do that, and more importantly, make sure that you take the action step in the video. Okay, really, really important, because it's that commitment and it's that taking action which is going to yield much better results for you moving forward. So today we're going to be talking about one-to-one versus supercharged semi-private. Now, this is mainly for an in-person business. Okay, so you're actually physically seeing people. However, it does also apply to online. I've helped many people grow their online businesses, but the main focus of this training is going to be if you're working with clients in person. Now, I spoke about when talking about this series that all of the content and the things I'm going to be teaching you over the next a week or so is from actual data. Okay, so this is not theory, this is not ideas, it's specific data on results of my clients, mostly with this category, my Platinum Mastermind. So let me explain why that's important. So in order to qualify for the Platinum Mastermind, which is a minimum $30,000 a year investment over the course of the year, and we travel the world, I'm sure many of you would have seen some of the videos. To qualify for that, you need to be generating $10,000 per month or more in your business. And so I'm looking at those clients within my highest level group to see what the common denominators are. Now, what's interesting is that the majority, okay, so 95% of those in that group are doing anywhere between 80 and 100%, typically 100% semi-private, okay, semi-private personal training. So what does that mean? What is semi-private? And for those of you who are already running group and semi-private, let's look at also what is supercharged semi-private. So, and supercharged semi-private is something which I created. When you were first trained by the training company that taught you, as I was, when I went over to Cyprus to learn, I was taught that as I was going to go into my personal training career, that I should work with clients one-on-one. I should charge them per session or a block of time, i.e. 10 or 20 sessions. And that was really the business model that I was taught. However, that is not a business model that's going to support the goal, the financial goal of the reason why you're watching this training videos, okay? If you want to be a trainer who just has a few clients and you're working with people in person, that's fine, that's totally cool. However, if you want to grow and scale a leveraged business, then with you acting as the business owner and you still want to train clients, but maybe in the future you want to transition into running a business where you step away and have trainers working for you, then it's my belief, and based on the success of, for example, my Platinum Mastermind clients, that you should be doing supercharged semi-private. Now, for many, that can be a daunting shift. Why? Because you're so used to what you've been taught, and it's, you don't know what you don't know. And so what I experience with a lot of people who come to me is that they're either still doing one-to-one personal training, they're still selling blocks, they do have semi-private, but it's not their primary focus in their business, and also they're potentially running a boot camp or classes. Just so you know, I'm not a fan of, and I don't teach in my model, classes and boot camps. Okay. Do my clients have boot camps? They do. Some of them run classes? Yes. But it's not the primary model that I teach, because my goal is to get my clients and double, triple their income and get people to 10,000 a month or more so that they can start to create freedom. And if you wanted to build an online program, then you've got more time. So this video in particular is going to be talking about getting more time in your business and generating more income. And hopefully you'll see and get the shift around how you need to make sure that your business can facilitate doing semi-private. And if you don't already have that ability right now, you probably need to shift to a place in which you can. And of course, there's plenty of opportunities. You may need to make a change, but that's totally possible. So let's look at one-to-one personal training, okay? So for example, if someone wants to hire me personally, okay, one-to-one, okay, my Platinum Mastermind clients get access to me, but it's still in a group, okay? So if someone wants to hire me one-on-one, then the investment is a minimum of $50,000 upwards, okay? Because my time is valuable, okay? My time is incredibly valuable to me. Therefore, as I've grown as a business owner, my time and the cost for my time goes up. And so it's the same with you. So if you are doing one-to-one personal training, you should be charging a premium for that, okay? That's if you want to do it. And then to be able to get your business to scale so that you can generate more revenue and still achieve great results, you should be grouping people together, okay? Now, there's lots of different thoughts around this. And so there's most likely some people are going to be watching this going, well, you know, you shouldn't do that. And you shouldn't, you know, but in my experience with my clients who have shifted from a one-to-one model to a supercharged semi-private model, this is what the results are. Their clients are more committed, okay, because they're paying a premium, and we'll be talking about that in a future video. They're getting better results. They feel more part of a community. They're having more fun. And their business has gone and shifted, not just financially, but the happiness with the trainer and also the happiness with the clients. So that's a win-win for everyone, okay? So one-to-one personal training, while it's a model that's been taught, and am I saying that you should drop it? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you want to get to 10,000 a month with the model that I teach, shifting to a primary semi-private model, a supercharged semi-private model, is going to be the easiest and fastest way to get there. Now, let's look at time, which is incredibly important. So let's look at, okay, we've got a goal to get to, we've got the goal to get to 10K a month, okay? So that's the goal. And the goal is 10K. But in order to get there, okay, maybe if you in your day you've got a maximum of 10 hours, what's going to happen is that there's something called burnout. Now, in a recent survey that I did in the Free Fitpreneurs Facebook group, I asked, what's your burnout rate if you're doing one-to-one training? And the time that came up was around 7 hours onwards. And so the biggest trap that most trainers get caught up in is, okay, I want to earn 10K a month, but in order to get there, I need to work all of these hours. And then what happens is you reach a threshold where you go, well, I could take on more clients, but in order to do that, I need to work extra hours. I actually want to have more time with my friends and my family. And therefore I would rather actually have that than get to the 10K goal. And that is the biggest trap that most people get caught up in, because they don't have time leverage in their business. Okay. So it's very important to understand this, because many trainers, what happens is they don't have the awareness that this is even happening. And so typically what happens is maybe a client drops off, and then suddenly you get the energy to replace that client to create that income that you have every single month. And so your income doesn't go up. It's not because there's a shortage of people. It's not because actually you can't get more leads. Maybe the strategy is part of that when we'll talk about lead generation in these future videos. But the real issue is that the business model behind your business doesn't support you hitting your 10K goal without getting burnt out. Okay? So have a think about that for a moment. do you have you ever had that sense of, oh my God, you know, I've kind of, you know, got my momentum, but there's something holding me back. And typically this is what it is. So we have to get time leverage. Okay. And so you can do 10K a month in your business, doing one-to-one, but what is ultimately going to happen is, because you're expending so much energy every single day and you're serving clients, it's not about the hours. Okay. It's not about the hours. It's about how much energy you're expending. Okay. You know, just talking and adding value, it's draining. Okay. So it's my goal with my clients and people I work with to cut their training hours, not their business development hours. Cause honestly, I love working in my business, and I spend a lot of time in my business, but that's out of choice. Okay. My service delivery time is relatively low because I have systems in place that get results in a group setting. Okay. And then as people generate more revenue, they're able to ascend up to get more access to me. And that's the same way that you should be running your business. Okay. If you want it to be scalable with this model. And so it's really important that you get this concept down and understand that the one-to-one model, while you can get there, it's going to be a ball ache to do so. So let's move on and transition into supercharged semi-private. So what is semi-private? Okay. Semi-private is, and so in one-to-one, you're working one-to-one, which means that takes up 1 hour of your time. And so if you have 8 clients in a day, that takes 8 hours. Now, I want to tell you a story about, which is something that happened a few years ago now. So you can see these teeth, pretty nice teeth. I didn't used to have nice teeth. Okay. I used to have horrible teeth, in fact. But what I decided to do was I decided to invest $15,000 in some veneers. And so when I was over in Hawaii, I was at an event and I decided to get my teeth done in Hawaii, and it cost me $15,000. And the reason I'm telling you that story is because something really interesting happened in Hawaii, which was I paid my $15,000, and as I was there sat in the chair, the dentist suddenly got up and he started to work in different rooms. And there was an assistant there working with me, and she kind of went out too. But essentially this was, you know, my expectation was, well, I'd have this dentist just working with me, but he was going around and working on different people at the same time. And I was like, wow, that's time leverage. He's not just sat there in the time that he's working with me, but he's also moving around different clients because he's leveraging his time. And I thought, wow, this is semi-private dental, right? And so if you look at something like a rugby coach or a football coach or whatever sport you kind of like, you know, is that coach working with a person one-on-one? No, they're in a gym and he's moving around and he's instructing, and it's personal training, but it's in a semi-private setting, okay? And a semi-private formula, which means that there's time leverage. And so it's really important to understand that this can actually cultivate better results, a better community, a sense of wanting to come back, improved accountability, because there's a different energy within a semi-private setting. Okay. And so the majority of my mastermind clients, they're implementing supercharged semi-private, which is enrollment in semi-private at a premium price. Okay. And having people grouped together in around up to 8 people at a time. Okay. So now instead of doing one-to-one and 8 clients in 8 hours, okay, you can now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now look at the time leverage. You're now serving and impacting 8 people in the same hour that would normally be one-to-one. Okay. You get to change more lives, which is exactly why you've got into the industry. You're generating more revenue, and there's connection between this person and 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 this person, which they like because people want connection, people want love, people want to develop and cultivate friendships. And so now, if Mrs. Jones here doesn't show up, you know, client over here is calling up her going, hey, why haven't you been in today? So it helps you out. Okay, it helps you out. So supercharged semi-private, where you're not charging class and bootcamp prices, but you're charging personal training investment costs, okay, done in a group setting, can be extremely, extremely powerful for you. Why? Because you're going to hit your income goal faster, okay, and you're going to serve more people, and you're going to cultivate a community, and people stay for a community. This is actually going to improve retention, okay? This is going to actually improve referrals. It's going to also improve results, because as this person over here is working out, the other person is looking over going, oh, they're working out harder than me. Maybe I should push myself, even though you're cultivating having them work out harder, okay? And so this supercharged semi-private, when done properly, okay, when it's executed properly, when you have the proper enrollment conversation, when you set it up correctly, you can have I've helped people actually get a studio or gym in 8 to 12 weeks when their goal was, 5 years. Why? Because they implement semi-private in, for example, a stepping stone location or outdoors, and then they get their location much quicker. Okay. And that then is a big goal for many of you. Maybe you've already got a studio. Maybe you're implementing, you're having one-to-one, but maybe you've mainly got a boot camp. Again, I'm not a fan of boot camps and classes. I'm fully invested in this model. Why? Because I've just seen the results that it's gotten in a very short period of time. So one of the big questions I get is, Simon, what about all of my one-to-one clients? Well, excuse me. What about my one-to-one clients? Will they want to do it? Okay. And this is something that we coach on. Why? Because there's different questions that come up, but the answer essentially is yes. You have to pre-frame it properly. You have to have a conversation, but ultimately your one-to-one clients will move over to supercharged semi-private when it's pre-framed properly and when you have that right conversation with them. Okay. And I've done it time and time again. This frees up your time so that now you can start to step away and put effort and energy more so into the marketing and sales. A lot of times I hear the challenge, well, Simon, I don't have time for my family. I'm having arguments. I'm having stresses in my family life because I don't have time. I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm home by 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm burnt out, Simon. I'm stressed. Why? Because you're running the one-to-one model. You're running a model in your business that doesn't support where you need to be. Okay. And so ask yourself this question. Okay. What's really stopping, and that's the key word. What's really stopping me from implementing supercharged semi-private? Okay. And your task today is to post in the comments below and let me know what's really stopping you from making this your primary business model. And if you've already got it at your primary, as your primary model, what do you think is stopping you from taking it to the next level? By the way, there's so many different ways to take this to the next level. You can gamify it. You can have people ascending and upgrading to year long and getting people who are within the semi-private, upgrading and becoming, founding members and motivators when they reach a 12-month point. So within this model, you can always improve it. And especially with my mastermind clients, we're always looking at ways to improve the level of service and to make this even better and more compelling. Okay. In my business, we're always looking to make it better. So if your business is staying stagnant, okay, it's only because you've gotten bored with it and maybe you need to change it up. But also if it's not enabling you to hit your goal, then it's always going to be frustrating. Now I want to share something with you, which I've put together. which is this. And you can see on the screen, what is your, and I've set this up. This is actually a calculator, which we're going to be releasing soon, but I'll give you a bit of a preview. What is your target? What is your yearly income target? Okay. 120,000 in dollars. But the overhead is 2,000. What is your closing rate? Okay. So if you see, 10 clients, how many do you enroll? 50%. What's your one-to-one rate? $50. What is your semi-private rate? 1,500. What is your maximum group size? 8 people. Maximum hours you're willing to train a day, 3 hours. Okay. 3 hours a day instead of, 8 or so. 3 hours a day investment in your time. And then look at the numbers. Okay. This shows that you just need to get 24 active clients. You need to keep 24 clients active to hit your income goal of 120,000 for the year. And that's with a $2,000 overhead. And if I scroll down, you can also see here, which is the burnout zone, which is around 6.5, 7 hours or so. And so I wanted to show you this because it's really important that you understand it and get it, because if you don't see it and you don't understand how compelling it can be to activate it and get it moving forward, then you're not going to take action on it. Okay. You're not going to follow through on it. But mark my words, okay? When people shift to the supercharged semi-private model, they're enrolling clients the right way, they're grouping people together, and they're implementing that properly, the business turns around. Now, are there fears? Are there things that come up? Of course, and that's the things that we address in our coaching programs. Why? Because you need accountability, you need consequences, you need to ask questions all the way through all of these processes, because from generating a lead to signing up a client, there's so many things that can happen. You've got show up rate. You've got questions in the sales conversation. You've got what happens when you put someone into the program and X, Y, Z happens. So understand that what I'm teaching you over these days is the main framework. Okay. So make sure that you take action. You're going to get 100 points for this. Okay. Take action and let me know in the comments below. What do you think is stopping you from going 100% semi-private? And maybe right now you're not in that position to be able to do it, but what would it take for you to be able to get that? Okay. I'll see you in the next training, where we're going to be covering something super, super exciting to help you take your business to the next level, because I know that you love to hear the words, "You changed my life." I will see you in the next training. Take it easy.